again. Welcome to the game that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. This is TimeGuessr. We'll be given a series of 5 photos like this one. For each one we have to say where in the world was it taken, but also when in history was it taken, anywhere from 1900 to 2025. There's more points the closer you are, both on the map and on the timeline. I usually aim for about 2/3 to 3/4. Let's see how we get on today, because it's obviously very dependent on how much information I can gather from the clues, which does vary quite a lot. What are we doing here? That says 2008, so that at least makes the first part very easy, which is putting it on the timeline. Surely it's not going to be a dirty trick. What does that say? It's not the greatest quality photo, sadly. Oh, but that's the Uruguay flag. So I did wonder whether this was something in Spanish, because it ends R-A-N-D-E, I think, or R-A-N-D-A with an accent, which sounded Spanish, but it might be Portuguese. I can't remember which one of the two they speak in Uruguay. But either way, clearly it's in Uruguay. So let's just go straight for Montevideo. No real point in messing around, because it easily could be somewhere else in Uruguay, but I'm never going to work it out. Let's go in that field. It is 2008. Cooks grilling over 12 tons of beef during a successful attempt to break the record for the world's largest barbecue. That's interesting. Oh, it was the other bit of green, which is a bit frustrating. I lost 122 points, but still, that is a pretty good start. This one is going to be a lot trickier. Black and white ones are always tricky because they can be anywhere from about 1900 to 1980. Oh, what's going on up here? That feels Ausweis, Wurzen. I mean, it's Switzerland, Austria, or Germany, probably. There's also, that might say something like Achtung. It sounds very German. So, Switzerland, Austria, or Germany. I'm going for Arbeit macht frei. There's Freiburg, I suppose, in the absence of any other ideas. I might as well go there. What year is this? Absolutely no idea. I just have to go based on the quality of the photo, I think, because it's not like there's any cars or horse-drawn carriages to help me. Although, having said that, that is a lorry in the background, isn't it? So that does narrow it down quite a bit. I mean, I can't tell if it's got an engine or if it's horse-drawn, but it looks like the sort of thing that might have an engine. So I'm going to assume it's not too early. Also based on the fact that the photo is in good condition, so it feels like it's going to be post-war, but who knows? I'm going to leave it at 1962. Is that crazy? Maybe. But I don't know what else to go for. Where is Freiburg? I kind of want to go South Germany, so if Freiburg is too far north, then I might reconsider. Is Freiburg even a city? I know it's a football team, but I don't know where they play. Let's go for this town that's called Freiburg im Breisgau. Apologies to any Germans for my awful pronunciation. There might well be a completely different Freiburg somewhere, but this has got Freiburg in the name and it is pretty south, so even if it turns out to be Austria or Switzerland, we should be pretty close. Oh, it was 45 surviving prisoners from the Nazi concentration camp, and it was Auschwitz. Wow, it was in Poland. Oh, but of course the Germans would have been there at that time. That's why they were having German flags. Oh, that's frustrating. I've not been to Auschwitz. I will definitely go one day. But that is why I didn't recognise it. I couldn't quite see enough of the signs to work it out. Oh dear. At least we got nearly half points for being relatively close. Oh, what is next? That looks German as well. Liederwaren. Englischer Lyceum. That feels like an English something. What's going on over here? Westerreichisch Volkspartei. So that's the Western something, or the Austrian something? I don't know. That is a very old bus stroke trolley bus. But again, I mean, these are Volkswagen Beetles, aren't they? Which, again, got popular in the 60s. So I'm kind of tempted to leave it at 62 again. I'm going to be inspired by this number plate that ends in 64. I'm going to go for 64. Vorsprung durch Technik. Where is the Volkswagen factory or the Volkswagen headquarters? I don't know. I might just have to go for a big German city for the second guess in a row. Let's just go for Berlin. It'll be Munich, won't it? Oh, it was Austria. That was my third guess. Honest. I should have gone for Munich just because it's further south. I'm really bad at identifying when places are in Germany when they're not, but at least I was within 5 years. I should have left it at 62. That's annoying. But we got over 3/4 for that, so not a disaster again. Oh, what's going on here? That sounds French. Jalousie. Jalousie? And then awnings is just an English word. So that is a very confusing sign. That says for window shop gifts by the Limburger tree, something like that. I think that's what it said. That sounds very American. Oh, I mean, clearly it's American. If I just look over here, State Trooper. Couldn't get any more American. But I've got no idea where in America this is. And that's always annoying, because unlike in Europe you can be in completely the wrong country but still be pretty close. Here you can be in the correct country but be miles away. I don't know what state logo that is, if it's even a state emblem. Same with that. I think that's actually just a mirror. Yamaha, that doesn't help. I don't know where Jalousie is, but I suppose the fact that it sounds like a French name means it's somewhere, possibly like Louisiana or New Orleans. So let's go in that part of America. As for what year, it just looks a little bit more modern than the previous one, so let's go in the 70s. We'll go 72 this time. No, why am I going to Europe? Let's go... I mean, it could easily be New Orleans, I did mention that, so we'll stick it there. It was Florida? How was I supposed to know it was Florida? That's a bit unfortunate. And it was 1960, so it was a little bit after the previous one, but not by as much as I thought. Again, I should have just left it at 1962. Oh, less than half marks for that. Not so good. Alright, number 5 of 5. That is very confusing because that is in several different languages. I mean, that friendship is in English. That looks like Thai lettering. And then that is Cyrillic or Greek or Russian or Bulgarian or something. So I really have no idea what continent we're on, let alone what country. What does it say on the bus? It just says number 8, I think. That looks like Japanese writing. I think basically what's going on is that there's just some international row of restaurants in the background, which doesn't help me at all. Or it's like the entrance to something. In fact, it clearly is the entrance to something, isn't it? That's why they're giving tickets. Entrance or a bus depot or something. It's not black and white, so again I'm going to go a bit later than the previous one. Let's go 1980, because there's trolley buses, there's relatively old looking cars. Maybe I'll go 77, just based on this car. But where am I going to go? Blue and yellow scarf, blue and red scarf. I cannot read the writing on the newspaper, so that doesn't help. This is a disaster. Absolutely no idea where this is. This could be anywhere. I mean, I've got to do some racial profiling, I guess, which I don't really want to admit to doing on camera. Green trolley buses. Where do I think there are green trolley buses? There are trolley buses or trams or whatever in Bucharest. This could easily be Eastern Europe. So we're going to go for Budapest. I don't think it is Budapest. Am I going to go for Budapest? I don't think it's right though. But I've got no idea where it is. I'm just going to go Budapest. It was Tbilisi. Why couldn't they have had a Georgian flag somewhere? Oh, I suppose it's because the Soviet Union had only just collapsed, so maybe they didn't have a Georgian flag ready. I don't know. Anyway, they were selling the Georgian newspaper, 8th of January 1992, first newspaper published in the city since a suspension of print amid political turmoil followed the collapse of the Soviet Union. 1992, I should have stuck with 1980s, at least I'd have been a tiny bit closer. But that's actually my worst performance of the 5. Wow. That is not great. That is not going to be a good score. Oh, 31,000. I was very worried it was going to be less than 30. Anything in the 30s is not awful. Lower than 30, I do feel a bit disappointed in myself. But luckily today we've just about somehow rescued the 60% pass mark. But yeah, not great. But there were some tricky ones. There were some tricky ones and some ones that I should have done better with. Let me know how you got on with this one. Thank you for watching and bye for now.